right, and we're back with another episode, and this time I'm joined with Steven Sware. How's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to make sure I said that last name right.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
All right, starting things off, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and where you come from.
Yeah, so my name is Steven Sware. I'm a 25-year-old pop artist. I'm originally from a small city just outside of Edmonton called Fort Saskatchewan, but I'm based out of Edmonton and been performing for about 10 years now.
Awesome. And type of genre that you perform with?
Mostly like pop music. It's always kind of changing with the times and what is kind of like at the forefront of what I'm wanting to do, but mostly pop music. Yeah.
Awesome. And a little backstory on how you and I know each other.
Yeah.
How many years ago did we meet? 3, 4, 3?
It's got to be 3 years ago.
At least 3? Yeah, because we
Yeah.
met through Julian Nicholson, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
She brought me to one of your shows when you used to be called Baby Boy Blue.
Way back.
Way back.
You're going back into
I
the
know.
archives now.
It was like one of your, I think, album releases or something like that
Yeah.
at the Rec Room. That's where we met. She brought me there, and then I met Genesia, and that's kind of
Yeah.
how we got connected. And then you were my third interview, like, ever.
Yeah.
I
And
started.
it was a ton of fun. I loved it.
Yeah,
And I've been working, I've been waiting to come back. And now that I have a new song, I'm excited to be. That's why I wrote a new song. It was just to do
just
this
to come
interview.
back on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome, man. It sucks that it has to be this way. Can't be in person like that one, but
Yeah.
I'm sure
Soon.
sometime soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's quarantine been for you?
It has been hectic. It's been crazy. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Last summer was insane. I was doing a lot of driveway shows, and then fall hit and the restrictions came back and it was dead. So my girlfriend and I, we've been working full-time jobs pretty much throughout the winter. Around Christmas time, I also did Christmas grams. So there's been little pockets of music and really exploding with performing. And then it goes right back to nothing and working a 9 to 5 job, which I hate.
Absolutely. What would you say has been the biggest struggle?
Biggest struggle is just not knowing. Like, I like to plan and I like to be in control of the situation. Like, I love to think ahead and say, we're going to do this by this time. And with the restrictions, everything's just so up in the air. I'd love to plan for the next 2 years, love to plan for the next 5 years, but right now everything is just day by day, which I hate.
Yeah. It's everything on hold, kind of.
Yeah, everything's on hold and you're like, I want to do this so bad. Like, I've been wanting to play shows this summer. I probably could have started in April with the weather being as nice as it has been.
Yep.
But the restrictions are just getting a little bit tighter since then. So kind of sucks, but you have to stay safe and stay healthy. So
Absolutely. What's been one good thing you've taken from this quarantine?
Well, I actually did meet my girlfriend and we live together now. We moved out and it's been a ton of fun. And if quarantine never happened, if COVID never happened, we would have never met.
Right.
So it's funny to think about the past year and, think about, well, if this didn't happen, if COVID never happened, how different our lives would have been.
Right. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about the driveway concerts and things like that. You also did some wedding stuff.
Yeah. A little bit. They got pushed back as well, but
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about like the wedding packages you have, these driveway concerts you do. Tell us a little bit about all that.
yeah, so I try to just perform as much as I can. So with weddings, I love playing the ceremony. I love being a part of something so special and so romantic. So I was doing a ton of weddings. I think it would be 2 summers now.
Yep.
2 summers ago, I should say. And then I had a bunch of them booked for 2021. And it was that weird scenario last spring where it was like, oh, we're going to push it till June. And then all of a sudden, every time it gets pushed like a month and then 5 months and then a year. So everything by like this spring has already been pushed to 2022. So everything with that has been on hold. But with the driveway shows, it was exhilarating. It was so much fun. I ended up playing over 125 shows between May till about September in 2020. So it was insane. I loved it so much. Being able to do something actually positive during COVID was massive because usually, everything going on is so negative. And being able to have people smile and sing along and dance, it meant the world.
Awesome. Yeah, and with the wedding stuff, you
Yeah.
did you only do this once? You made like a song. Was that like a contest? You made like a
Yeah,
song.
no.
Just song?
I offer writing songs for couples, and it's not even for weddings. That's just kind of how it came about. I was playing a lot of weddings, and people were asking me, "Oh, like, could you write a song?" So I teamed up with two producers. I do kind of like a full production version, and then as well as a more cost effective stripped down version of songs that people can purchase.
Okay, and then with the weather getting nicer, driveway shows starting up again. Um,
Yeah,
how
hopefully.
does someone book you for a driveway concert?
Yeah, they can reach out on any social media platform like Facebook or Instagram, even Twitter. I have everything on my website as well at stevenswaremusic.com. It's under the little summer concert series. So there's three different types of shows that I've expanded on since last year to really kind of cater to different scenarios that people might have throughout the summer.
Right.
And even a show that people can book with Genesia. So it's a full evening event with two separate artists that I'm stoked. I hope we get to do one of them this summer.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this year you got some sponsorship from one of the radio stations.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Fort Saskatchewan, and the radio station Mix 107.9, they've been doing kind of an on-air ad, which is so cool. I got to hear it yesterday for the first time, and I posted about it, and they have like the radio announcer's voice with mine,
Nice.
and it's the coolest thing. I never would have thought, because they didn't tell me how it was gonna go. So when I heard it, I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!"
That's
The guy's
awesome.
got like the deep voice, and he's like, "Get a summer show," and I'm like, "Yes!"
That's
And
awesome.
it was so cool to hear that.
That's cool. Awesome. All right, man. Let's now talk about your newest single, Back to You.
Yeah.
Tell us about it and how it came together.
So as I kind of mentioned before, my girlfriend Morgan and we started dating last year on May 9th. It was actually the first time we met each other in person, and she was actually the very first driveway show too.
Oh,
So it was hilarious, man. We were kind of flirty a little bit. I slid in the DMs and we were kind of chatting, and then that was like last February, and because of COVID, everything really shut down,
yeah.
and we didn't get to see each other. And then I started promoting these driveway shows, and she usually has, or sorry, her parents usually have a date night every single Friday. And because of COVID, they weren't able to do anything. So she actually hired me to come out, and her and her siblings made supper, like a 5 course meal for her parents. And they surprised them, brought them out on the driveway, and I got to perform for them. So that was kind of the first show, and that was the first time we met. And then we started hanging out the week after. And because of COVID, like we couldn't really do anything. So we ended up just talking for hours and hours and hours. And we haven't spent a day apart since. So the song just came from our relationship, and you know, the fun part of that relationship, when you start a new relationship, and the real lovey-dovey parts, but also kind of chatting about the struggles that I've had in past relationships, not only you know romantic relationships, but also business and partnerships. I've had a lot of struggles in the past, and you know, being able to be open with her and chatting about that and my own insecurities because of it, and vice versa with her, our relationship has grown, and it's this feeling of, you know, you're coming back to someone that you're just so in love with and you're so happy to be with. And that's how kind of the lyrical content came about. And I wrote it with my friend Adam Ambrose from Calgary, as well as two producers here in Edmonton, Brandon Eunice and Brad Simons from Velveteen. And I'm just so happy with the way it all came out.
Awesome. And what would you say your favorite thing is about co-writing with other people?
Um, well, in my past, I've had a lot of struggles with writing. We don't have to get into that, but I just think it's so great to know, because I've been writing for about 10 years now, so I have a better understanding of, you know, the things that I'm stronger at and the things that I'm weaker at with writing, and being able to bring someone in who I know can kind of complement, you know, my strengths and weaknesses. It just creates a song that's so much stronger. And we ended up doing like 7 revisions of the lyrics and everything, so it was really the strongest that the song could be, and I'm so happy with that, because usually I just, you know, come up with something in the studio and then that's it, and then you go back a year later and you're like, oh, how did I not know that that
Yeah,
wasn't it?
sure. And is there something like, what is the weirdest, most awkward way you've ever come up with a song? Do you have anything?
Weirdest, most awkward.
Yeah, like a
I
weird
don't think I
situation.
really,
No?
I don't know. I don't really think I do. I'm like, I know a lot of artists, they really use writing as like a way to kind of get away from life or put, you know, their struggles down on paper. And I've never been that kind of like introspective type of person where it's like I'm so deep in my thoughts that I have to write this down. It's always been like more, you know, communication where it's like, you know, you're talking to a friend, like how we're talking right now. And it's like you start talking about your life. And then usually the person you're talking to is like, oh, wait, let's roll with that. Like what you just said. I think that's a really good idea. So
Yeah.
it's been more like, you know, laid back and just kind of chatting rather than a weird way to go about it. I don't even know what a weird way of writing a song would be.
You know, like maybe you had a situation where like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like you were just in an awkward situation and you're like, I think this would make a great song, you know, or you were like, you know, maybe you were like on the toilet looking at something on social media and you're like, oh, this would be like just an awkward situation where you're like, I came up with this song when I was doing this, you know?
Oh man, I don't even think so.
Okay, that's fair.
You you got some maybe you have some weird stories about how you thought of getting an interview. I don't know.
Hey man, I come up with weird things all the time.
Yeah.
All right, man. With this new single, we have plans for a music video, lyric video.
Yeah, so I haven't even announced anything yet, but I teamed up with my buddy Joselito, who's a videographer here in Edmonton, and we, with COVID and everything, we had big plans for a big music video,
Yep.
and they all got shut down. So we decided to do actually a stripped down version of Back to You, and
Okay.
we did a little music video. Um, I can't say too much because it's got to be a surprise,
Yeah,
but
that's
there
fair.
is a video coming probably middle to the end of June, and a different version of Back to You.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right, man. With the release of this new single, your video, what's next for you?
Hopefully playing driveway shows. I'm
Yeah.
just really looking forward to performing, and I'd love to play like a club show, but I think we're going to be away from that for a while. So I think the next best thing is definitely the driveway shows and getting out there and performing.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we can get back to like those station on Jasper nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
Oh, and you know, you get to party and you get to be with friends, and I think I'm really looking forward to that.
We're all waiting for it. I
Yeah.
think, did you see? I saw a thing in Nashville where because they're all back to normal.
Right.
I saw a thing where it's like it was packed, like almost like it would be even too much for me.
Really?
I feel like that's what's going to happen here. Once everything opens up, it's just going to be packed.
It's going to be a big, big party. That's my guess. And I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. We have your website that you mentioned earlier, but tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so they can find me anywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the major social media platforms at Steven Sware Music.
Perfect. All right, guys, go grab Steven Sware's new single, Back to You. And Steven, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Stay in touch, man. Let's chat soon, and see we can hang out and do something.
We'll go for a coffee, a nice gentleman coffee.
Something. Yep, absolutely. All right, man. We'll talk soon, and take care of yourself.
Awesome. You too.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.